a mysterious ancient creation that rewrote the history of innovation. There is a moment in human history that almost feels illegal, like something happened too early. An invention appeared that should not have existed yet. Something so advanced that even modern historians had to stop and double-check the timeline. No electricity, no factories, no modern science, yet this creation quietly proved that ancient humans were thinking far beyond what we give them credit for. It did not just improve life at the time, it permanently changed how humans approached invention itself. And the most unsettling part is that for centuries, we forgot it ever existed. The Antikythera mechanism. In 1901, sponge divers off the coast of a small Greek island pulled something strange from a shipwreck. At first glance, it looked like a corroded lump of bronze and rock. Nothing special, almost trash. But as scientists examined it more closely, gears began to appear. Perfectly cut, interlocking gears. This was not decoration. This was machinery. What they had found was the Antikythera mechanism, a device built over 2,000 years ago that could predict eclipses, planetary movements, and astronomical cycles with shocking accuracy. It was not symbolic. It was computational. This device rewrote history because it proved that complex mechanical engineering existed far earlier than anyone believed. Before this discovery, historians thought gear-based machines emerged in the medieval period. Why this changed innovation forever? What makes this invention so powerful is not just what it did, but how it thought. The mechanism separated a problem into parts, represented them physically, and used motion to simulate time itself. That mindset is the core of modern engineering. It is the same logic behind clocks, engines, and eventually computers. Innovation stopped being about one clever trick and became about systems that could evolve. For a long time, people assumed innovation was linear, slow, and simple in ancient times. This device proved otherwise. It suggested that human progress had advanced further, then collapsed, taking knowledge with it. Innovation was not always climbing. Sometimes it fell, and history had to rebuild from the ruins without knowing what was lost. The lost knowledge problem. One of the most uncomfortable ideas in history is that humans may have forgotten more than they remember. The Antikythera mechanism hints at entire schools of thought. That vanished. The people who built it likely had training systems, mathematical frameworks, and shared technical language. Yet no instruction manuals survived. No blueprints. Just one device out of context, like a message from a civilization that expected us to understand it. This changes how innovation is viewed. Progress is not guaranteed. It depends on preservation, transmission, and cultural value. When societies collapse, knowledge can disappear with them. Innovation is fragile. It requires not just creativity but continuity. The mechanism reminds us that invention is not only about intelligence but about protecting ideas long enough for them to grow. Why it still matters today. Modern technology follows the same principles embedded in this ancient device. Modeling reality, predicting outcomes, turning abstract patterns into physical systems. The Antikythera mechanism was doing this centuries before the scientific revolution. It compresses time, math, and motion into one object. That is not ancient thinking. That is advanced thinking. It also forces a shift in how we respect early inventors. They were not primitive experimenters stumbling forward. They were engineers working within limits, solving problems with precision and creativity. Innovation did not suddenly begin in modern times. It has been cycling, rising, breaking, and rebuilding for thousands of years. The precision of ancient craftsmanship. One detail that keeps unsettling historians is the level of precision required to build something like the Antikythera mechanism. The gears were not roughly shaped. They were cut with exact tooth counts, aligned to work together without slipping, and calibrated to track cycles that last years or even decades. This was not something one genius improvised in isolation. It points to workshops, shared standards, and repeatable techniques. Precision like this requires measurement systems, tools capable of fine control, and deep understanding of tolerance and error. That changes the narrative completely. Ancient innovation was not only conceptual, it was industrial in its own way. The line between ancient craftsmanship and modern engineering suddenly becomes much thinner than we were taught. The philosophy behind the machine. What often gets overlooked is the mindset required to even imagine such a device. Someone had to believe that the universe followed predictable rules, that the motion of the heavens could be understood, modeled, and trusted. That belief alone is revolutionary. It means nature was no longer seen purely as divine chaos, but as a system that could be decoded. This philosophical shift is the backbone of innovation. Once humans accept that reality operates on patterns, invention becomes inevitable. The Antikythera mechanism represents that mental leap. It is proof that ancient thinkers were not just reacting to the world, but attempting to explain it in structured, repeatable ways. That mindset still drives every breakthrough today. The innovation gap that followed. Perhaps the most striking part of this story is what happened after. For centuries, nothing like the Antikythera mechanism appeared again. Mechanical complexities seem to vanish from history. This gap forces an uncomfortable realization. Progress is not automatic. Innovation can stall, reverse, or disappear entirely if conditions are not right. Wars, collapses, shifting values, and lost institutions can erase entire branches of knowledge. The mechanism stands as evidence of a peak that humanity had to climb again from scratch. It reframes modern innovation as recovery, not just advancement. Every breakthrough today carries the hidden weight of what was once known, then lost. The warning, hidden inside the invention. Beyond its brilliance, the Antikythera mechanism carries a quiet warning that still applies today. It shows that intelligence alone does not guarantee lasting progress. Knowledge must be valued, protected, and shared to survive. The people who built this machine solved problems at a level far ahead of their time, yet their work nearly vanished from history. Innovation without preservation becomes fragile. This device reminds us that every breakthrough depends on systems that keep knowledge alive across generations. Schools, records, collaboration, and cultural respect for learning matter just as much as invention itself. Without them, even the most advanced ideas can disappear, leaving future generations to rediscover what was already known. The bigger question it leaves behind. If one such device survived by accident, how many others were lost deliberately or through time? How many innovations disappeared because no one copied them fast enough, or because the society that created them collapsed before passing them on? The Antikythera mechanism does not just answer questions, it creates new ones. And that is why it is so important. It reminds us that innovation is not owned by any era. Human curiosity has always been dangerous in the best way. The tools change, the materials evolve, but the drive to understand and predict the world has always been there, waiting for the right moment to surface again. If this story made you rethink what ancient humans were capable of, let that curiosity turn into action. Like the video so more people see this hidden chapter of history. Subscribe if you want more deep dives into the inventions that quietly shaped the modern world. And leave a comment with the ancient discovery you think deserves way more attention than it gets.